That's a pile of eggs.
Yeah, that one's supposed to hold 120, but when you put the goose eggs in, it doesn't hold as much.
Mm-hmm.
But from that other bar.
So we're getting ready to have this live stream here. I'm going to kind of share it around some more a little bit. We're going to plant some giants and stuff and other stuff. We'll have several different varieties of tomatoes, plus some giant ones that we're going to plant. Also got to go over mail call today. We got tons of packages to go through. Tons. We'll go through them real quick in a minute. But going to go good live. Or at least I hope it's going to be. Let me see here. I'm going to try to share it on TikTok real quick. Let me see here. Where's the link? Get this link here real quick. Give me just a minute, y'all. I was running way behind. Way behind. As always. That just popped up on TikTok. Oh, no, we ain't going to listen to that. Nope. I thought it was the instrumental. Right, there's the YouTube link.
You did on that funny video.
Mm-hmm.
That is a real funny video.
No, that's not a real funny video.
Which one?
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny video. Which one is the funny video, Dad?
Let me see here.
There you go.
Thank you, buddy.
You can have a little bit. You can play with your marker, Dad. You can have the marker. Marker.
All right. There's that. So, what in the world?
Technical difficulties over there.
No, it's not technical difficulties. It's horrible music. All right. So let's open up some boxes packages real quick. So here's this one right here from my buddy, old Chad New. Hey there, Homestead Aquarius. Thank you for coming in, man. Thank you for coming in. We're getting ready to go over a ton of stuff. Hey, if y'all don't care, please share the link so we can get some more people in here. Just as soon as I get through this mail call real quick, we're going to go through some things. This here is the 643 new, or excuse me, 1643 new. I sort of burnt them seeds up and lost them somehow. I don't know how I lost them, but he was kind enough to send me some more out. So thank you there for that. I needed those. I really want to grow that. I really believe it's going to be a great seed this year. Start with this box right here. I'm going to put this one up here like so. This is all from Malibu Compost, guys. If you're familiar with Malibu Compost, you'll know that they got some excellent products. I really love their stuff. And here is 2 bags of their compost teas for fruits, vegetables, and tomatoes. So I wanted to show you guys these. Right here on the back, it just says, add 1 tea bag. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're not doing this. No, because you'll end up having stuff falling all over. Thank you very much. You can take yourself to the room and watch TV in there, okay? Thank you. Anyways, it says add 1 tea bag to a 2 to 5 gallons of water. Steep the compost bag for 8 to 12 hours, then immediately use. After steeping, give the bag a squeeze and remove it from the compost tea. Aerate compost tea by stirring for a moment before applying. Use a watering can to drench the soil base with your compost tea. Use a sprayer to apply with your entire food garden. When drenching, apply tea at the same rate as normal watering for the specific plant. Apply once a month for optimal results. So anyhow, it's got the ingredients is compost, which is dairy cow manure, straw, wood chips, and concentrates of yarrow, chamomile, valerian, stinging nettle, dandelion, and oak bark, kelp, earthworm castings, and equistium. So anyhow, we're going to be using that stuff this year as well. What we're going to do, what Malibu requested that we do, is that we use their products on one garden bed, on one raised bed. And I thought that was a reasonable request. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use it on one bed and one bed only this year. And we'll see how it goes from there. I like their stuff. I'm telling you right now, can't think of it. The seed starting mix is some of the best seed starting mix I've ever used from anybody. So highly encourage you to look at that stuff. See what else we got here. I actually am looking for some of that seed starting mix so that we can start our seeds tonight. So let's see if that's what this one is. I don't think it is. It feels too heavy to be it. Yeah, no, that ain't it. I don't think. Yeah, that's their biodynamic compost right there. So it says heal your soil, heal your soul. This has got all kinds of stuff in it, but we're not going to talk about the compost right now. But this is the Boo compost right there. Let me see if I can find there. That's pretty heavy. Let's see. Let's make sure. I just want to make sure we find it. Because the bags look identical to each other. Compost. Let's put these boxes in there. That one, this might be it. This is lighter, a little bit lighter. So let's see. It might be it. Again, guys, if you don't mind, share the link so we can get more people in here if you don't care. Yeah, I think this might be it here. Yep, that's it. Yeah, seed starter. There's one bag of seed starter right there. So there's that bag. Watch out, buddy. Watch out. There's that one. This right here might be the next one. So let's see here. See if it is or not. Because there's a lot of bags to be open. You guys go on, Kai. Go on. Get on. Yeah, going out of here. Go watch TV in the room. That's the other bag of seed starter mix right there. All right, so got our seed starter mix. Now let's throw that stuff over in the other side of the room. Let's see. Got to get the trash can got out here real quick. Well, not a trash can, but the bucket. I got a bucket over here I need to get to. All right, there we go. All right, there's my bucket. Dump this stuff out into the bucket. So we don't have to worry about trying to scoop it out of a bag. I always hate trying to scoop stuff out of a bag. There's that. Let's see here. There's that one. And we'll fill that up again when we need to. All right, so now let's get started on some tomatoes and things. All right, if we have time, we might plant some flowers. I got a few of those. Let's see here that I might plant. The purple Leda, it's a violet of some sort. Wife loves flowers. Got some pansies. Boy, we know a lot of pansies in this world, don't we? So there's some of those. Here's some coxcombs right there. Some dwarf coral garden mix. Here's some swan's down. That's some pretty looking stuff, I think. Got some Japanese morning glories. Those could be direct sown on a fence line somewhere. We don't really plant them right now. Wild violet or violet wild. It's a petunia. We got some phlox, some sugar stars, phlox right there. We got some aster, some matsumoto, red striped right there. Trying to get the camera to look at this. There's not really got good, very good lighting in here. I need to buy me one of them lights. Got some peppermint stick right there. Some chocolate daisies right here. So another viola, purple leda. So we've already seen that one. Some nasturtium or nasturtium. I don't know. Alaska red shades. Call it that. Sounds much better. All right. I got some hyssop, Arcado pink. Pretty cool looking stuff there. Some cafe otlate. I don't even know how to pronounce that either. I'm not even going to try to. That's some giant perfection mix, Aster China. And then those were some lettuces. Anyways. That over there. And so here's for we got some blackberries, Schwarzenberry, which is much like a huckleberry. We'll probably plant some of those. We also plant some huckleberries as well. Then we got the Wonderberry, which is also again like a huckleberry. All right. So you guys, if you buy any of those huckleberries, Wonderberries, Schwarzenberries, be very cautious about. Hey, thank you, Homestead Aquarius. I appreciate that. Really, I really appreciate that, man. So, but if you guys buy the Schwarzenberry, the Wonderberry, the Huckleberry, be very careful that you read the instructions, because on some of that stuff, let's see here, some of them it said, like this one right here, harvest berries only when fully ripe, very black and soft, because if you don't, it can be poisonous. Now on this one right here, it says on this Schwarzenberry that it warning may be poisonous to eat. And you can see it right there. All right. It says warning may be poisonous to eat right there. All right. So be very, very cautious. But it's only like that if you pick it early. If you pick it when it's ripe, they're fine. You're fine. We've ate these huckleberries, Wonderberries, Schwarzenberries before. All right. So now jumping into our tomatoes, we're going to just get right into it. So we have the Sweetheart Cherry right there. It's a 60-day-old cherry tomato, packed with sweetness and rich berry flavor. It is very crisp, and the fruit can keep on the extra long vine, making it extra high in sugar. These little strawberry-shaped jewels are wildly productive little snacking tomatoes, resisted to cracking. So that's very nice that it's resisted to cracking. That way, if I forget to water, or if it don't rain and I'm away and can't water, hey, Carl, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us, bro. Appreciate it, man. And then we got this one right here. It's Brad's Atomic Grape. All right. Now, I've never grown Brad's Atomic Grape. I've heard a lot about it, both good and bad. So I don't really know if it's a good one or a bad one. I can't tell you one way or another, but I've heard a lot about it. And so it kind of made me want to try it out. All right. So there's that one right there. These lights back here are just not working out at all. So let me see here. There. Is that better? Much better. There we go. Get that stuff turned on. All right. Green Zebra. So this one right here is the next one. Green Zebra. It says chartreuse striped in lime green, very attractive, rich tasting, 3-ounce fruit, sweet with a sharp bite. All right. So that sounds pretty good. That I like that kind of stuff. I like a little bit of tart here and there, right? And if it's got a little bit of tart, maybe it might have a little acidic to it, so then you can kind of use it for other things. So just going down through here on all the comments. Blue Beauty. This is another good one right here. We've grown this one right here the past 2 years. We grew it in 21 and 22. We've really liked it. I'm telling you guys, this thing right here, I can tell you from experience that this tomato right here, regardless of the disease, regardless of the weather, regardless of the heat and everything else, this tomato has produced and outproduced anything else really in the garden, except for like some smaller tomatoes. And even those smaller ones had succumbed to, diseases and things. This tomato right here, we've had extremely good luck with, and I will always grow it. The other one was the orange peach, had very, very good luck with that orange peach tomato. I will always grow that one. We're going to kind of go over some of those favorites as we go along. So anyways, but this one, if you guys can go out and get it, I highly encourage you to go out and get the Blue Beauty tomato. All right, it's a very good looking one. Yeah, black cherries are good too. I think I might have some in here. So let me see. Put that one there. Green Tiger is one. Now we do grow several different tigers. You'll see them coming up as well. But the Green Tiger we've never grown, so this will be our first year growing that one as well. It's an exciting new class of elongated cherry tomato, crack resistant, which is also good. You know, the fruit get about 2 inches long, tapering to a point, amazing green stripe with yellow lime green interior, superb flavor. So we're going to be trying that one out as well. We've never tried it, but if it's anything like the other tigers, the Amur Tiger, I can't remember the other tiger one I got in there. It's like a pinkish red tiger one in there that I got. If they're anything like that, it's going to be a good one. We have the Chadwick Cherry. I've heard a lot of good things about this. Again, a new one that we've not grown, until this year. But it says, developed by the late horticultural expert Alan Chadwick. Large vine sets, huge yields of 1 ounce cherry tomatoes, disease resistance to plants. And so what I would like to do with some of these is plant them, but also graft them to get that disease resistance, okay, to kind of help get that disease resistance. So these will be grown, but then we're also going to be grafting some of our more prone to, disease plants, so like the Great White or the Black Beauty, things that we've had really, really hard times growing, the large barred boar, the Berkeley pink tie-dye. All right. So some of those we've had horrible times trying to grow because of the disease. So these right here would be a perfect thing for you to graft to and just kind of play around with it. So that's what we're going to be growing it, but we're also going to be grafting to it. So then the next one is, it's a chocolate one, Carl. It's not really a black. I don't know if you can tell. It's not black, but it's kind of like a smoky brown like color. I would consider this, closer to the black range. But they say these are really good. The Rosella. So it's bred for the superb flavor by Gourmet Genetics. Massive trusses of pink and purple cherries with a smoky blush, half-inch fruit, superb, fresh or cooked. So highly recommend these based upon what I've heard from others about these. Not really heard any mixed reviews on them. They've all been pretty much straight down the line of there's a really good tomato. So maybe try some of these, Carl. So let me see. Put them right there. Now we're getting into my stash. And the stash is, it's quite significant, guys. It's quite significant, to say the least. Now, another new one coming up this year is going to be Phil's One. Now, there is a tomato that was, I think it's from Germany, and it was called the Traveler's Tomato. And this tomato grew in clusters, and you could literally break the tomato apart and eat a little bit of it as you go along throughout the day. And like I said, it was pretty short from Germany, and that's what it was for. It was to take on long journeys. You just break it apart and stuff, and you eat it, and it was pretty cool. But it was a red tomato. Now, this tomato, from everything I can gather, is kind of derived from that tomato. So it says mid-season, possibly the wildest, most eye-catchy tomato we've ever seen. The semi-determinate regular leaf plant produces extraordinary bumpy, glowing yellow globes. Philip Romans, a tomato breeder from France, pulled the characteristics from the Riacetome or traveler tomato to create this fanciful fusion. Now, I probably messed up that first name, but again, the Traveler's Tomato. And you guys can see that on Baker Creek. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. But it was a much larger fruit than this one right here. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Now, this one right here is called the Phil's Number 2. All right. Now, this one, again, is kind of along those lines of the Traveler's Tomato, kind of derived from there and stuff, but it's a green one. All right. So, again, mid-season, semi-determinate, possibly the wildest tomato ever seen, most eye-catching, blah, 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 regular leaf plant, extraordinary bumpy, glowing green globes instead of yellow. Same breeder, Philippe Romans, tomato breeder from France, pulled the characteristics from the Traveler tomato to create this fanciful fusion. So again, the same thing. These are not nearly as big as the Traveler tomato. The Traveler tomatoes seem to be pretty much bigger than these. From what I can tell, the yellow one is a little bit smaller than this green one. All right. Now, maybe it's just from the pictures, but it does look like it's probably going to be bigger, because if you count the clusters of the yellows and the clusters of the green, you're going to see that they're a lot different. So anyhow, those are going to be new for this year. The Queen of the Night is another new one that we're going to be growing this year. Very, very excited to be growing this thing. Look at that color of that. It's just beautiful, beautiful coloring. And from what I've heard, is pretty daggone good, guys. So the Queen of the Night is 80 to 90 day mid-season. This salad type, purple blush, richly flavored, 3 to 3.5 ounce fruit, brush strokes of indigo on its shoulders, cut into the round fruit to reveal a stunning vermilion color. Plants are indeterminate, compact, and reach about 5 to 5.5 feet. That's a good size. It's indeterminate, but about 5 to 5.5 feet, it kind of stops. All right. And then it says with blue tinged regular leaf foliage. That's going to be really cool to see. Hey, Gardening Warrior Q, thank you for stopping by. Glad that you come in. We're going to have some fun with some tomatoes. The Black Beauty tomato, guys, I love the tomato. I really do. But it's got a flaw, a really bad flaw, and it does not handle disease pressure very good at all, at least not in my climate. The disease pressure is none. Like it just doesn't handle it. It's like, nope, I got a little bit of disease and I'm dying. And it just like it lays on its back and just dies, right? You might get 3 to 4 fruit off of it per plant before that happens, but you get humongous, and I do mean humongous, blooms on it, mega blooms on these. I'm talking massive mega blooms on these things, but they just don't last. The plants get sick and die very quick here. Don't know why. So we're going to be pairing this one and this one up. We're going to be grafting this to this, okay, to try to get that disease resistance. All right, guys. So, but the Black Beauty, it's a really good one. If to eat, it's a good one. The world's darkest tomato, so dark that some tomatoes turn solid blue black on the skin. And it tastes really good. I mean, if you can get it to grow, it's a wonderful tomato. So let's see here. Now we got another blue beauty there. Put it over here. Orange hat. Now we grew these indoors this winter. Liked them really well. What we're going to do with these outdoors this summer and spring is we're going to be planting them in like some little spots, right? Because literally they don't get very big. They put on a bunch of little tomatoes, but they don't get very big. The plants don't. They're not going to overtake stuff. So you can kind of hide them into little corners here and there, for a little snack. You're out there working in the flower bed, pop a couple of these in. Out there working in the raised bed, you got a couple of these, put them in there, and you can eat some, all right? So really a great little tomato. We love them here. They grew wonderful indoors. I know they're going to grow good outdoors. Let's see. The extra dwarf bush plant grows just 6 to 9 inches tall, but produces oodles of tiny orange orbs bursting with fruity sweetness, and that is the truth. Perfect for growing indoors or on the patio, or as an edible ornamental in the beds, borders, or mixed containers. So yes, that is all going to be probably very true. We know it grows good indoors. We're going to see how well it grows outdoors. Now, as I was telling you earlier, the green tiger that we have right here, we have the blush tiger, okay? And the blush tiger is pretty daggone good, all right? Indeterminate salad tomato that glitters and shines with superb flavor to boot. Bred by the artisan seeds, this 2 to 2.5 inch long cocktail type tomato has become a standout favorite in our trials. Slightly crunchy texture, eye-catching color, and perfectly balanced flavor. Guys, we grew this thing last year, and I mean, if you go back to last year's videos, you'll see this thing produced like wild. And even though it ended up getting disease, it fought the disease back and continued to grow and produce these until the frost. So highly recommend this tomato right here, the blush tiger. Now, I don't know about the green tiger, but if it's anything like the blush tiger, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. All right, so there's that one right there. So let's see here. The next one is, the little orange hat is great for growing in the wintertime, Carl. Perfect. Now, this is the Amore tiger that I was telling you guys about. Now, I've been growing this one since 2021. And no, take that back, 2020. That's when I planted this the first time. Wonderful stew tomato, guys. Absolutely wonderful stew tomato. The plants just grow and grow and grow and grow, though, okay? So if you got a trellis of some sort, like a cattle panel or some sort of like actual trellis to grow these on, highly recommend doing it. Or a fence that you can put them on and just keep tying them off to the fence and letting them grow. Highly recommend that. But guys, these things, we had 3 or 4 plants in 2020, and we put up, I cannot tell you how many quart jars of stewed tomatoes, guys. I mean, they just kept coming and coming and coming. and disease hit them. They fought right through the disease and kept on pushing. 2022, they did really good. 2021 or 2023, 2022, which was last year, they did really good as well. So, well, hopefully this year in 2023, they will continue to do well and produce just like they have been. But super, super good. We like them a lot. Now, this one here is the Costaludo Genovese, kind of like an Italian tomato, for making different things. The back of it says an old Italian favorite that has been around since the early 19th century. Intense, flavorful fruit, rather flat, quite attractive rib, eaten fresh or preserved. And so this one right here, we did grow some of them last year. We didn't get a lot of harvest off of it. What happened is we had so many tomatoes that this one, I thought I had them lined out correctly. I ended up misplacing this one in the lineup. Crows were grabbing my popsicle sticks and throwing them like every morning, and I'd go out there and chase them off, and then try to put the sticks back where I thought they were, and I ended up mixing this one up with another one, and this one got buried by some other stuff that took over the garden, and so we only got a few of these, but what we did get was very good. So we're going to plant these in a different spot this year and hope that we get really good production out of them, because I've heard a lot of good things about this tomato. So then the next one that we've been growing since 2021 is the Get Stuffed tomato. Now, we really like this tomato. If you like stuffed peppers, you like, the whole thing about, stuffing a pepper and eating it and stuff, this tomato is great for that, all right? And it kind of fills that gap in. We like eating stuffed peppers quite a bit here. And sometimes it just don't seem like we can get enough stuffed peppers in the summertime, right? Like we'll eat them once and we'll be ready to eat them again. And there's just there's not enough bell peppers to eat. They're not big enough yet or whatever, right? And so this kind of helps fill that void in the summertime. It's a really cool tomato. Highly encourage you getting it. It's pretty good for the disease. I mean, it's not great, but it handles it pretty well. It will end up succumbing to it, but it's kind of later on in the year, like in August or something like that, if you live in a climate like where I'm at in West Virginia. And so this one says, fruit averages 5 to 7 ounces each, and they're similar to a bell pepper in shape. And the skin is, a variety and gilded in light streaks of gold, medium large with a strawberry seed-like cluster in the middle, and is easy to scoop out. Delicious stuff with various stuffings, raw or cooked. And so we like that one. This one here is another stuffing tomato. We grew a couple of them. Again, it was with those Genovese. Got lost. But this is the red Rosso Sicilian tomato. This is the first grown in America by Ann Fuller of Mitchell, Indiana, who received seeds from a Sicilian man in 1987. Deeply red, intensely red fruits to 5 ounces, richly flavored as Italians like their tomatoes. So anyhow, but this one is another stuffing tomato. If you read further on the website, it does say that this is a stuffing tomato. So we'll have 2 different stuffing tomatoes, and you can kind of tell, if you look at the 2 of them there. Oops, let me see. There's that one. There's that one. You can see they're both pretty much the same. They got those ribs and they're hollow kind of deal. They don't go all the way out to the meat of the tomato. Now this one here is a good one. It's called the watermelon. I grew some really big. Now this is a potato leaf, and I grew some really, really big ones on this one in 2020. 2021, I did pretty well with it, but I had other things growing, bigger tomatoes from known giants growing, and I was kind of more focused on them than I was these. But we still pulled out some 2.5 pounders with these watermelon tomatoes. It's watermelon beefsteak, and it worked really good. They taste really good. They are a light pink, and they are a potato leaf. All right, so if you're looking for something like that, there you go. This one right here is the Abe Lincoln. A lot of people have heard about this one. It's a pretty good one. They can get really big. I've heard 2+ pounds from these tomatoes. So, highly encourage you growing them. We've grown them here. They taste good. They're really good slicers. Make a tomato sandwich or put it on a bologna sandwich or whatever you want. They really are good for that. Very juicy. But this is a renowned 1923 heirloom, medium large, red meaty fruit. Has incredible old-fashioned flavor, slicer or canner. All right. And we did use some of them for some salsas and stuff like that. Now, here's a pink jazz. Had one of these plants last year. Sadly, it didn't get to produce before frost hit. I bought these seeds a little bit later and waited too late to plant them to actually get a harvest off of them. It got to be a good-sized plant. Had lots of blooms, lots of fruit on it, but they just didn't get to ripen out and finish out. And so, we didn't get to taste them, but highly, highly encourage you to get them because of the disease resistance that we had with them. They were really good for that. When everything else was kind of dying back and stuff, these things were, continuing to truck on. The disease didn't affect them one bit. And they were younger whenever the disease was kind of hitting the older plants. And so, we would have thought they would have died back a little quicker, but they didn't. But anyhow, this stunning variety of legendary tomato breeder, Fred Hempel, this pink and yellow striped beefsteak can weigh up to 1 pound each. Sweet flavor with hints of peach, bred to be disease resistant. So there you go, bred to be disease resistant. So there's that one. Trying to find a place to hide them here. Running out of room, y'all. Pink Brandywine, a favorite of ours here. We really like the pink Brandywine. It's a potato leaf. It gets really good size. I've grown them over a little bit over 2 pounds. Really aggressive plant. Grows really aggressive, really good. But the disease pressure is a little bit. And the production takes a little while. It does take a little while from what we have grown in the past. So we've been growing these since 2020. The disease production or the disease resistance is a little bit good, but the production is very, 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 very slow. So just know that if you're going to grow one of these, at least here, we've always had very, very slow to mature tomato or ripen tomatoes. The next one, everybody knows what a mortgage lifter is. All right. Don't really have to talk much about that, but the mortgage lifter is very, very, what would you call influential in gardening. About every greenhouse you go to, especially here in West Virginia, they got mortgage lifters. Okay. About everybody knows what it is. Everybody buys them. They swear by them. They stick with them. And so these right here are good if you're doing market gardening, because some of these other ones, people may just not want to buy it because it's different color, never heard of it before, don't know what it tastes like. But if you're somewhere where the population is a little bit older and those populations don't really like trying new things, highly recommend the mortgage lifter to continue your sales. Okay. So that's why we grow it here. This one here is the Siberian pink honey. Now guys, I'm going to tell you something about this. This one will get disease real easy, but it doesn't die. It just continues to pump them out. 2020, this thing got hit with disease like, I don't know, almost immediately. But after I first picked my first tomato, this thing was just boom, disease. I'll have to see what we got in here. I don't have any right now, but I might have some. I got so many tomatoes I can't remember, but I may have some. Anyways, these are some really good tomatoes. They taste good. They grow really good. They were supposed to be about the size of a baseball, but I get them to a little bit bigger than a softball. They get a lot of mega blooms on them, guys, and they just produce. Even though the disease is killing them, they just keep right on producing. So, I mean, you can't really say enough about that Siberian pink honey. I mean, they get disease, but they just keep growing and producing. So, I mean, it is what it is. If they're going to keep producing, I'm going to keep growing them. This one right here is the Thornburns terracotta. Grew it last year for the first time. Really liked it. Put on tons of tomatoes right up until the very end. It says introduced in 1893 by James Thornburg of New York. Honey brown skin, orange pink flesh, and green seed mass. And it is very green. You're going to be like, whoa, what is the neon green in there? But anyhow, this eye-catching slicer with an out-of-this-world flavor, and it is very, very good. If you make only salsa with just this tomato and make salsa with any other tomato, you're going to tell a big difference in the salsas, guaranteed. Or if you make some sort of a base, tomato base, these right here are awesome to do it with. The rest of them are good too, but if you make it just out of these tomatoes and then make it out of something else and taste, you're going to know which one's which when you make it out of these. I guarantee it. So there's that. This here is the Ananias Noor. It's also known as, I think, the black pineapple or something like that. Terracottas, they're really, really good. We love them here. So I'm so glad we found them last year. But this one right here is the Ananias Noor, or what they would call the black pineapple, I think is what another name for it. It grows good. It's kind of black and green. It's got black shoulders and then like green on the bottom. And then it's got pink stripes in the center of the tomato and stuff. It's a real pretty tomato. It grows really good. We've never had any issues out of it. So again, it's just a very, very slow growing tomato. It takes its time. So just know that. But it will produce quite a few, and they do get pretty good size. Here's the big rainbow. I have been chasing down a childhood tomato since I was a kid. When we lived in Scarborough, I know none of you would know that, but when I was a kid, we lived in Scarborough, and my dad had got these tomatoes that I'd never seen before. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, somewhere around there, maybe 6, but not real old. And he got these tomatoes that were yellow with pink centers, and I just was mind blown with that tomato. And it was really, really big. I mean, it was massive tomatoes. The bottom of our house was center block, and it was painted black, and so the heat was repelling back every night on the tomato plants, and I guess it just kind of helped them grow. And so anyhow, these right here, I've been trying to chase it down. I've tried these. I've tried some other ones that we're going to look at here in a second, and I cannot pinpoint that exact tomato. They might look a little bit similar, but none of them ever taste the same. Of course, it's been since I was 6, so maybe I'm forgetting. But even my dad is like, I don't think that one's it, So we're trying to chase it down. We never didn't know that there was so many tomatoes like this until I started really growing different stuff in 2020. We never knew that there was so many different kinds of these. I thought, well, it can't be that many, like 1 or 2, and we'll find it easy. That's not been the case. Very hard to find this tomato that I can remember as a child. And even my dad remembers it. And he's like, I don't think those are it. But this one is a good one. It's a big rainbow, an heirloom preserved by members of the Seed Exchange Harvest. Huge fruit, up to 2 pounds, and they do get very big. Very good disease pressure. They're very good disease resistance. They don't do bad with disease pressure. They're good. So anyways, delicious and sweet tasting. Very striking sliced yellow with yellow flesh with a neon red. So really, really like these. Highly encourage you growing them. But we're going to continue our search on for that tomato. Let me see here. I read so many things about the carbon and the Paul Rose, man. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the carbon, but then I've heard a couple of bad things about the carbon. I heard a lot of good things about Paul Robeson, and I've heard some bad things about the Paul Robeson. I guess it's kind of like where it's grown, how it's grown, maybe, because it's hard, or maybe some people's taste profiles are different. I mean, I don't know. Generally, any kind of tomato that comes out of that garden that's worth its weight, I like, but I've yet to try them either, and I really should try them. You know what, Homestead Aquarius, you're so right. There are tons of different tomatoes. As we're getting ready to see here, this is the hillbilly tomato. And the hillbilly tomato is basically a carbon copy of the big rainbow. And the only difference between the two is this one's a potato leaf, and it grows a little bit slower. The fruit get a little bit bigger. I can get about 2.5 pounds out of these ones right here. Bigger plant, though, much more aggressive plant. It does better with the disease resistance than some of the other tomatoes. Maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit better than the big rainbow, although I can't really remember last year. So, I remember some of it, but I don't really remember looking into these and being like, yeah, that one's better than the big rainbow. So I'd probably have to go back and kind of look at my notes that I keep. But this one we've been growing since 2020, and we grow it every year now. It's a really good one, and highly encourage you guys going out and buying it. It tastes really good. Really, really good. I love the flavor, love the size, like the potato leaf, because I can tell that one apart from the big rainbow and maybe some other ones. We're moving on here, and this one is the blue bumblebee. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. It's just a blue bumblebee. Hey, where to begin, Homestead? Thank you for coming in. And I want to go hiking. Thank you also for coming in. And Jesus is God. Thank you for coming in. This one right here is 75 days, brilliant 2-inch blue orbs maturing to a golden yellow with blue shoulders. They are perfect for snacking or for salads and should be a centerpiece in the market display. I agree. They really are good. And what's weird is this one we grew for the first time last year. Never had grown it before, ever, anything like this in our garden ever. And this was the first one that we grew last year. And somehow I found this tomato that Jaden has now left out in the water that we're going to have to plant tonight. This was Jaden's, what does it say here? Jaden's mystery tomato. All right. Jaden found this tomato last year up here in the front yard growing out of some compost, I guess. And lo and behold, it had these yellow with little blue shoulders on it. And I thought, well, now, how could that be? We didn't plant none of them. We ain't never grown them. So I don't know what them are, but them and these taste totally different from each other. Very different. The Jaden's mystery tomatoes are a little bit smaller than these actually, and the plant's a little bit more vigorous, but these are very good. We grew these in containers out in the yard, and they did really well. Highly recommend these. Now, this one here is another one of my favorite for many, many, many different reasons. Okay, guys, many different reasons. And if you can't tell, the first reason right off the bat is the color. Look at that thing. Is that not an absolute gorgeous tomato, guys? I mean, it's absolute gorgeous, striking tomato. The flavor is there. Everything, this tomato has everything going for it except one thing: disease pressure. It does not like disease at all. So again, we're going to be grafting some to these right here to get that disease pressure. Okay, got to help get that disease resistance with that disease pressure. And maybe we'll be able to grow these. Now, they put on a good bit of tomatoes. I ain't gonna lie. We had more than we could eat. We could sell tons of them, but it didn't last past like the mid of August. I think mid-August, late August, somewhere around in there, they just said, hey, we can't take no more. And they really struggled all year long. So that was the only downside to those tomatoes. Now, here's another one that I absolutely love. I will grow this tomato every year without a doubt. The Sart Roloise. I think that's how you pronounce it. That thing is absolutely gorgeous, guys. Love that tomato. Oh, should have read the back of this here. Indeterminate tomato, averages 80 days of maturity. A super beautiful beefsteak tomato, bursting with antioxidants and incredible depth of flavor. This medium-large beefsteak is golden yellow with red striping and blue blush. We love this production of this reliable anthocyanin-rich variety. So there you go. Let me see here. No, I have not. I haven't talked about the Sart Roloise yet. Not yet. But I like it. I might have mentioned it, but we haven't talked about it yet. But this thing is awesome. I absolutely. Oh, right on cue. There we go. But this thing, I love this tomato. I absolutely love it. It is an awesome tomato. I will grow this tomato every year without a doubt. So this 85 to 90 day gorgeous globes has the luster and stunning color of a stained glass masterpiece, bursting with sweet, fruity, and complex flavor with just the right acidity. Tropical sweet with high antioxidant content, large beefsteak fruit, 10 to 24 ounces each. Winner of our 2020 taste test. Guys, if you want a tomato, you got to get some of these. All right. I'm telling you, these things are awesome. And they don't really always have them either. They're kind of hard to find from what I've seen. And these only gave me 10 seeds. So let me see in here. I ain't got many left. So anyhow, let's see here. Just making sure we get through everybody. Yeah, see? So I love them. I love these right here. Yeah, we've got some rain today too, guys. So let's see. Going on, Great White. I like Great White. Great White are good tomatoes. Yeah, I spend quite a bit at Baker Creek. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like they're probably one of their best customers, and you probably are too from spending $500 a year. But it's a addicted habit going over there, and it's like, ooh, I want that, 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 and then you're like, well, then you get all this stuff in your cart, and you're like, oh my goodness, that much money, and you're like, okay, I can do without this. Oh no, I can't do without that. Got to put that back. Can do without this. Choices, right? Being an adult, right? Sucks. So, oh wow, 90. Yeah, no, it wasn't 90 here. It was like 50 something here today, and rainy. But the Great White. If you guys ain't grown the Great White, I highly recommend growing it. It's a very good beefsteak tomato. Love the creamy flavor of it. It grows really well. I'm pretty sure it is. No, I don't think. I thought it was a potato leaf, but it might not be a potato leaf. I think it's just a regular leaf. But anyhow, it's a really good tomato. It does take a while to get a tomato on the plant, but it's well worth the wait. It's well worth the effort to grow these. And they grow all year, and the disease really doesn't bother them much here. At least I haven't seen much of disease pressure hurting them. Do they get a little bit here and there? Yeah, but you can put a little bit of copper fungicide or something like that on them. They bounce right back. Really, really simple, easy to take care of. I love them. Right? I'm the same way. So here's the peach tomato. Let me see. Go through here. Where's the other peach tomato? There we go. Right there. All right, so I got some peach tomatoes here that I've saved. I also have peach tomatoes here that I didn't plant yet. So these are a favorite of ours here. All right, guys, and they're really kind of small tomatoes, about a little bit bigger than a golf ball. Most of them are. They're about like that. Not tennis ball size, but bigger than a golf ball. They taste really well. They got like fuzz on them. It's a really cool tomato, and they taste great. I mean, superb. Everybody who's came to my house for patch tours, because we do patch tours in the summertime, and I introduced them to this tomato, they want seeds out of it. In fact, they take tomatoes home just to get the seeds out of them for the next year because they end up falling in love with this tomato. So, guys, here's what it says. 75 days, perfectly peachy with a light fuzzy skin to match. Imitation peach is nutritious and has a splendid sweet flavor. The orange peach, which we find even more peachy, was a chance cross by Pennsylvania farmer and heirloom expert James Weaver. So glad that was an accident because this thing is phenomenal. Highly encourage you guys going out there and getting it. Disease resistance. While everything else in 2020 was dying, this thing kept on, 2021, this thing kept on pumping them out. All right, same thing for last year. It broke my bamboo. These plants got so big, it snapped bamboo in half, and they were laying on the ground, and they were tons of them. You'd lift up the branches and stuff, and there was just tons of tomatoes laying under there, ready to be picked. We couldn't keep up with them. Made tons of salsa, tons of base out of them. Everything we used these was phenomenal, guys. So highly recommend getting these as soon as you can. And if you can't find them, I got some for sale. So just know that. I got a bunch of seeds for sale for anybody that would need any. Okay, guys. Been running a $50 fill up orange envelope thing. Hey, Jay, go get me an orange envelope out of the bathroom, please. So here's this orange icicle tomato. I accidentally bought 2 of those last year. Didn't mean to, but sometimes you end up putting 2 things in one, in the cart on accident. But anyhow, we did grow them. We got a few off of them right here at the porch before the frost. Ended up getting them again. This was another late plant that I got out. I bought them late, planted them late, harvested them late. But they were good. And this says it's outstanding Ukrainian variety. Glowing orange plums are like an extra long paste tomato, sweet, rich, flavorful. And the reason why I wanted this was I wanted to try to use these for canning and making paste, out of them or something in base or something like that. So hopefully this year we'll be able to. They do get pretty good size and they did taste pretty good. Okay, guys. So highly recommend these. They didn't have very much disease on them either, especially for late in the year when they should have been getting disease. Now, real quick before I forget, here's what I've been selling. All right. So this is a 6x9 envelope. All right. And I fill this up to the brim. I don't know if you guys know the Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona I think it's Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. She's got a great YouTube channel. She just bought one of these. I sell it for $50 and it's fill it plumb full of seeds. Okay, guys, I got a full list on my community page. You can go over and check that out. Tons of seeds on there. Tell me what you want and I will pack this thing full. If I can't fit it in there, kind of put it in order of what you would like to have first, to least, and then I'll just pack it full and send it to you. All right. $50. It's free shipping. All right. So you get a lot of seeds for that. But anyhow, Isis Candy Cherry. Again, another late one that we planted last year. We did get a few of them off of it. They are good. They are disease resistant from what we could tell. The best we could tell, of course, it was kind of, again, later in the year. But this says a favorite of the kids, round 1-inch fruit in varying shades of blush patterns of reds, yellows, outstandingly sweet. It is very, very sweet. You guys can see a really nice picture there. So we like them as well. Let's see here. This is the Kentucky orange beefsteak or the orange Kentucky beefsteak. Guys, this tomato absolutely rocks. It is a potato leaf plant, but it is a phenomenal plant, phenomenal taste, phenomenal growth, puts on tons and tons of tomatoes, and they get massive. I've had them as big as a Dixie plate, okay, guys? I mean, they're huge, and they do really good. We've been growing it since 2020, and we will continue to grow it until something else either comes along that's better or this one starts failing on us and just says, hey, we're no good for your area, okay? So definitely going to continue to grow that one, the orange Kentucky beefsteak or the Kentucky orange beefsteak. Now here's the Dr. Wyche's yellow. It's orange to me, but they call it yellow. It says a standout heirloom from the late Dr. John Wyche. This is a 1 pound glowing tangerine orange fruit. Is solid and smooth texture, tropical sweet taste, heavy yields, productive. So kind of contradicting itself. Dr. Wyche's yellow, but on the backside it's orange. So anyhow, it is what it is. And yes, Gardening Warrior Q, we will be praying for that because that is no fun. Sick kiddos are no fun and it makes you feel bad and you can't do nothing for them. So definitely going to be praying for yours. Yeah, so there's that. The Dr. Wyche's yellow. It is a good tomato. We've been growing it since 2021 and it's done really, really well here for us. No complaints. Orange accordion. 2020, we grew the golden accordion and it was from the Ohio Heirloom Seed Company where some of these other ones were from. This one, however, is the orange accordion. Now, I don't know if there's a difference between the golden accordion or the orange accordion. They both taste the same. They look the same. They smell the same. They grow the same. Don't know if they're different, but, you know, hey, whatever, right? But it works around here, and it produces like crazy. 2020, I was overran with these, and I thought, what are we going to do with all these weird-looking tomatoes, right? And they just kept coming and coming and coming. And people, for whatever reason, some people are weird about the tomato size and shape. They don't want it if it's cat-faced, which comes from a mega bloom. You know, they only want these little round grocery store-looking tomatoes that just, you know, I never understood that, and I never will understand it because tomato, if it tastes good, it tastes good, no matter what the shape or size is, right? But anyhow, they're a little bit hard to sell people on unless people want less acidic. And if they want less acidic, they'll hop all over these no matter what they look like, okay? So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Dr. Wyche's are awesome, for sure, where to begin. So there's the orange accordion. We'll read the back of it real quick. 80 days, massive ruffled tomato, high voltage orange color, packed with nutrition and sweet, fruity flavor, deeply lobed with few seeds and juicy, meaty flesh. Amazing for sauces and slicing. Easily reaches 20 ounces each, and it makes perfect stuffing tomatoes too. Now, we have never stuffed them, but that's new. Maybe we should try that out. Don't remember reading that before. Yeah, great BLT tomato. Absolutely. Sweet cranberry. Now, this one here we grew in 2020, and it is hard to get to grow at first. You'll get them to sprout, and then they just kind of do their, they're a little bit finicky. But if you can get them to grow, they do really well. And they produce lots of big trusses with lots of tomatoes on them. I mean, like big trusses with tons of tomatoes on them. They taste really good. They're a little bit tart, but it tastes really good. And they do pretty well with the frost. Yes, the frost. I've had these outlast everything else in the garden. When frost hit, these were still standing when everything else was like, oh, we got hit with frost. We can't do it. So sweet cranberry does pretty well. Now, the next one here is a black cherry. So, Carl, black cherry tomato. Carl, if you're still here with us, we have the black cherry right here. So, a longtime favorite. Beautiful cherries resemble large, dark purple brown grapes, rich, classic black tomato flavor. So, yeah. So, there you go. It tastes good. It does good. It grows good. We grew it in containers last year, and it did really well. So, get you some of those if you like the different colored cherries and stuff. This one here was a blast last year. Grew a lot like the tigers, okay, in that no matter how much disease pressure there was, these things will continue to go. This is the black strawberry, and we absolutely love the flavor. In fact, I have bags and bags and bags of these tomatoes, them real big 1 gallon freezer bags full of these tomatoes dehydrated, guys. We dehydrated them. And we use them in all kinds of stuff. We either crush them up for powder or we put them in stuff, and just let them, rehydrate themselves and everything. So really, really, really good. Not really. I just like the anthocyanin stuff. I'm really curious about anthocyanins and their makeup and the way that they can prevent cancers and things like that. And so I'm really big into purple stuff, just because of all that makes it up and that they can fight cancers and things like that. So I do like purple, but it's not like top of my list. I just like it for that reason. And a lot of it tastes really good. But this one here is a 60-day 1 ounce fruit, marbled blue, scarlet, and gold, a bowl full of A bowl full resembles a luminous bunch of gems, and the flavor is decadent and indulgent with perfect sweet and tart balanced flavor. Extremely productive, early, obvious choice for gardeners and market farmers. And not only early, but it produces throughout the entire season. This one also had broken a couple of the bamboo stakes last year, so it does really well, and we will continue to grow the black strawberry for sure. So let's see here. Spoon tomatoes. I don't know how many of you know what a spoon tomato is, but if you ever get it, do not, I repeat, do not grow it inside of your garden. Pick a spot away from the garden, away from everything, and plant it there to where spoon tomatoes is all you're growing in that area, okay? And just be prepared to throw a bunch of them out the following year, because these things, they are wild, and I mean wild, right? Yeah, they're very good. Love black strawberries. You should try the black strawberry for sure. You really do. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. So the spoon tomato, again, if you're going to grow it away from everything. Do not grow this thing in the garden. Here's why. It grows like a tree, and it just bushes out real big, and it just goes nuts. And it don't matter how much you prune it. It don't matter how much it don't matter. You will not be able to keep up with this thing once it gets going. And it gets a stalk on that thing like that big around. Kind of reminds you of a tomatillo or whatever, right? So don't grow these in the garden is my recommendation, because then you get all these little ones falling down. And then the following year, because I grew these in 2021, last year, they were everywhere in my garden. I was throwing them out left and right. They were popping up everywhere. And the tomatoes are only like super tiny. You can fit like 10 of these on a spoon. So, but they're really good. The kids love them. They're really good. The nice little snack. They're really like weird, sweet, tart-like taste. You know what I mean? And kind of good. You go out there with a bottle of water and just start popping these things in your mouth and drinking some water, and it kind of quenches your thirst a little faster from what I was using it for. I mean, I loved it like that. But I'm weird. So anyhow, spoon tomatoes, they're good, but just do not grow them in your garden if you want to have a garden. Yeah, because they'll just take it over like weeds. Let's see here. I just learned who can in 2020s. Yeah, absolutely. Tomato sauce, base, paste, anything we make is 10 times better for us and better, tasting than anything we'd ever get at the store. Absolutely. I'm just going down through here. All right, caught up. Yeah, I mean, if you probably could get them to grow out in the woods pretty good, because I mean, they just get you some and try it. I'm telling you, you'll see what I'm talking about. They go nuts. Now, these are dwarf tamarillos. All right, now these things really do grow like a real tree. Out in the front yard, if you guys have been watching my videos, you guys will see 3 or 4 of these in a row by my long wooden raised bed out in the front where the road is, right? You'll see like these 3 or 4 in a row, and I've like topped them out pretty much. I was wondering if I covered them up real good on the base, because they did grow like a tree. I was wondering if they would, in fact, last through the winter. And I believe if we would not have had that negative 40-degree weather in December, I believe they would have, because we had a really mild winter, and I believe they would have lasted. But I think that is what roasted them. So we're going to pull them out there. We're going to start some more. Now, we did not get anything off of them. So these will not be started and then planted outside, because it got too cold too quick here and they couldn't finish ripening. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant these in buckets. After they come up, we'll plant them in some buckets. We'll put them out in the greenhouse until it gets too cold for the greenhouse, and then we'll bring them in and we'll do them like that. But they do grow like a tree, and they grow pretty big. These were like, if I can remember right, they were over 6 foot tall last year, because I think I cut quite a bit of them plants down and off of them. And they were covered in pods, tons of pods about that big around, with tons of little tamarillos all in them. They kind of grow like berry pods, but they just didn't have enough time to ripen. And so, again, if you're in my kind of area, you don't want to put them outside and grow them outside unless you know that you can finish them outside. And like I said, I don't know that we'll be able to finish them outside. So we're going to keep them outside all summer in buckets or something, and then we'll put them in the greenhouse and then put them in the house when we have to, if we have to. But I do want to get some of these and try them because we didn't get to try any of them. They were all too green last year to try, but they were pretty cool. They do get like a woody stem, like an actual tree. So just be aware, of that. Now, let's see here. We got to catch up. I'm getting behind. Yeah, let's see. Just check my page. Oh, man, that stinks. I hate when stuff don't sprout. No good. No good at all. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she wants to know where everybody's from. I'm from West Virginia. I think Eric is from Indiana, I think. And I'm not sure wherever. I think where to begin. They're from Kentucky. I think Homestead Aquarius is from Alabama. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there y'all go. Y'all's talking good. So anyhow, these right here, I'm going to have to buddy up with these. We got a few of them last year, and they do taste good, but the disease is just the disease just hits them so fast and so quick that you don't really get many off. About 3 or 4 of them, and then the plants are just, like literally the plants start from the bottom up. They turn black and brown, and then they just die all the way up. So you don't get much off of these here. They just don't have that disease resistance that we need. So we'll be pairing them up and grafting them to the Chadwick cherry tomato, and that is the Berkeley tie-dye. Another wonderful Brad Gates creation, port wine colored 8 to 12 ounce beefsteak with metallic green stripes, sweet, rich, and dark tomato flavor. They are very good. We just don't get very many of them before we get hit. So, see here. We got West Virginia. We got Australia. See here. I hate crappy soil. But you know what? Sometimes you can't help it, right? I mean, I used some bad stuff this winter, filled with fungus gnats and aphids. It was a nightmare. I'll never use that stuff again. Got Ohio here from Buckeye Gardner. Hey, Buckeye Gardner, thank you for coming in. Got Southern Utah here from I Want to Go Hiking. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun, ain't it? So, large barred boar. We got 2 of those here. Again, it's just like the Berkeley tie-dye. I don't have much luck with it. We're going to have to graft them to the tomato, the Chadwick tomato. But they're a flattened beefsteak, pink brown with metallic green stripes, weigh 8 to 12 ounces. Flavorful, meaty pink flesh, fairly stocky for an indeterminate. And they are pretty stocky. And again, you can see here, there's not much difference in them tomatoes there, guys. Not much difference at all. I mean, they're almost the same. So anyhow, there's those right there. Cherokee Purple is a favorite of ours here. We like it. It does really good for us. We don't really have much issue with disease with it, and it tastes good. It tastes really good. It does take a long time to get anything off of them, and they're not very prolific. They don't put on very many at all. So there's that to think about. If you want to grow these and you want to eat some of them, that's great, but do not count on these for large production to can with or to sell. If you're going to grow these, they're strictly going to be for a delightful little snack here and there, for a sandwich here and there, because you're not going to get very much off of them. All right, so there's that, the purple or the Cherokee purples. Oh yeah, taking a risk. Why are you taking? Oh, you planted them outside, Eric? That's not good, bro. That's not good at all, man. I live in an urban environment. Oh, that would be cool. That'd be very cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to do something like that here. Make us a big old fruit forest. Now, these things here, these are the tomatillo, the Chupon de Maling, blah, blah. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. You can read it there. There you go. You can read it for yourself. If anybody can pronounce that, you can tell me how to do it. But anyhow, do you sell your crop of tomatoes? No. Well, yes. So what I do is I plant all this, grow a bunch of it. We put up however much we're going to put up for the week. And then whatever's left over, I give to the kids. As long as the kids have helped in the garden, the kids get to take these and go sell them. If the kids don't help in the garden, then they don't get to take and sell them. Basically, their incentive to help me out in the garden or help in here or wherever is to be able to go out and make their own money. And so what we do, what we do is we set them up, somewhere with good traffic, and we let them sell, and they get to keep all the money. They can either save it up for something they want, or we take them to a store and let them spend it that day. So we're trying to instill that, you got to work in order to get something. And if you don't work, you don't get nothing. So if they don't work during the week, they lay around lazy on us. We take it to the flea market and we sell it, or we give it away to friends. So that's what we do. Generally, though, speaking, they ain't lazy. They want to see that green, so they'll come out there. They'll pitch rocks. They'll carry tomatoes in. They'll pick green beans. They'll do whatever, and they'll help. They'll help, however, right? So we don't really have any issue with that. They want to see that money too. But anyhow, these right here, we've not planted any of these yet. These are 60 days. They're citrus yellow color, pointed shape, and remarkable sweet tart flavor make this tomatillo stand out in the pack. The fruit grows up to 4 inches long, and the flavor is more like a sweet paste tomato mixed with a husk cherry. All right, so around here we get ground cherries or husk cherries that grow naturally all around our fence line, and we pick those and stuff. And actually, I got some seeds from them from ones that grew earlier this year. But anyhow, let's see. Hey there, Tennessee Bushcrafter. Thank you for coming in. So let me see here. Anyways, these, though, if they're anything like the purple tomatillo that we'll talk about in a minute, don't plant them in your garden. Tomatillos are not a good idea to put in your garden. They seem to get really big, and they're kind of a nuisance like the spoon tomatoes, in my opinion. They get way too big, way too fast. Listen, you two. Y'all's being a nuisance, and you're going to end up making one of these trays or something fall on y'all, and you need to go. Thank you. All right, so sorry about that, y'all. Anyways, but yeah, these, I wanted to try them out because we like tomatillos, or however you pronounce it. Somebody said tomatillo. But anyhow, I got a southern accent, so I say tomatillo. So anyhow, there's those. Let's see. I don't know. Somebody else might be able to answer that. I do know most of them are determinate. I do not grow many determinants, if any at all, because well, if I was smart, I probably would, but because you get everything all at once. But I like having tomatoes all season. That way, gives me production all season. I don't have to hurry up and put everything away at once when they all hit at once, and then have to go through that whole cycle again. So that's why we grow like we grow. These here are there you go, Tennessee Bushcrafter. Most Romas are indeterminate, like an Amish paste and a San Marzano. So these here are Berry's Crazy Cherries. They're a mind-boggling, humongous cluster of 40 to 60 fruit of beaked yellow cherries, sweet great. Hang on. Listen, you and the puppy have to go. Go on. Now, Kira, just leave. If the puppy don't want to leave, then you leave him there. Thank you. Go on. Don't make me holler for your mama. Sorry, y'all. Anyhow, sorry about that. Kids, right? So anyways, these are pretty cool. They do put on quite a bit of tomatoes, and they taste really good. I've actually gotten more than 60. We've gotten up to 80 of them on a truss, so they will grow more than that. The next one are the Napa Chardonnays. Napa Chardonnays are really, really good. This is a mutation from the Napa Rose Blush. It's a sweet yellow cherry. Many say it's the very best cherry type they've ever tasted. It is very, very, very good. It's very prolific. It does very, very well here for us. Grows all season long, puts on tons and tons of tomatoes. This one here is the white currant. The kids love this one for some reason. We had it out in the sunflower patch, and the kids went nuts over these. I mean, every time you turned around, they was in there hiding in the sunflower patch, just eating away at these. You said, "What are you doing in there?" Like that, they'd be chewing, couldn't talk. They had their mouth full of these white currants. But anyhow, these super tiny fruit, barely 1 inch across, in creamy white, pale yellow, superb sweet flavor. The kids absolutely love these things, guys. I'm telling you, and they grew really, really, really good. Now, here's the one that we started growing in 2020. It's a yellow pear. This thing will grow like wildfire. I mean, if you give it a trellis to grow, it'll easily reach 10 foot tall if you allow it. I trimmed probably 3 wheelbarrows off of 3 plants. We had 3 plants, and I probably trimmed off 3 wheelbarrow loads full throughout the season, maybe more, of suckers and vine and everything else, trying to keep these from bending my fence over, because I had them on a fence and they were too heavy for that. They actually did end up going over. The tops did, lay down on the ground, touched, rerouted, and then come back up. So they're very, very, very prolific grower. Put on tons and tons of little yellow pear-shaped fruit, and they're pretty good. We liked them pretty well. Or they weren't our favorites after we tried some of these other ones in 2021, but we still grow these every year because they are so prolific and they do taste really good. So there's those. Yeah, white currants are awesome. All right, so here's another favorite of ours here. Started growing this in 2021, the Thornburns Lemon Blush. This is a 70 to 80 day yellow beefsteak from antiquity with magnificent flavor, lost for 107 years, saved by William Woys Weaver, legendary seed saver and heirloom expert, large, juicy with tropical fruit notes and perfect acidity balance, nearly coreless with a firm, juicy flesh and few seeds. And that is all very, very true. I will always grow this. As long as I have seeds for this, I will always grow it. It never had any bad issues with disease here. It's very prolific. The fruit are very, very good. They put on tons of fruit. And so I will always grow this as long as I have seeds for it, guys. The Thornburns Lemon Blush. Very good tomato. Can't really say enough about that tomato. Black Krim are supposed to be very, very good. I've not tried that one yet. Then we have the purple tomatillo. That was the one I was telling y'all about. You got to be careful with it. In 2021, this thing took over my garden. You can check those videos out from 2021. They were just all over the place. I mean, you just couldn't trim enough of them off. Where can you get these seeds at? So you can get these seeds at Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds is where I get the majority of these from. Sometimes I have some of these seeds. I don't have very many of these left now, but I do have some left. Like left from saved ones. So what I'll do is I'll go out there, and if I see a bloom getting ready to open, we put a bag over it, and we pollinate it ourselves and stuff, and we mark that one and save it. We do the same thing with our peppers here, so we get we get into true true to variety specimens. Real quick, we got this lychee tomato, South American origin, large thorny plants, bear 5 foot. White flowers with sweet red cherry-sized fruit. Start plants as you would a tomato. Be careful for the thorns. This thing is very, very thorny. Not only is the stalk thorny, but the leaves get thorns. And I grabbed the leaf last year, not knowing that the leaves had thorns, and it tore my hand up. And I do mean tore it up. And I'll be honest with you, the taste of these are not as good as they're saying here. I was not impressed with them. And to have to deal with the thorns, it's not really worth it. It's just not worth it. In fact, you can see the thorns on there. Y'all see the thorns on there? Like right here in this area? Yeah, it was like hit and miss. You might get one that was good, and you might get 2 that were sour. And then you get another one that was good, and then 2 that was sour, So, Connie Martin, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that Black Krim out. So, but yeah, this one here, I might grow it, but if I do, it's just going to be just to get rid of the seeds. Let's see here. Huckleberry, got the huckleberry that we were talking about earlier. It goes with the Wonderberry and the Schwarzenberry. And then I grow eggplants. I got the state record, 4 pounds, 7.2 ounces, I believe. But this is a new eggplant that we're going to try out this year. We're going to try several eggplants out this year, but this is a new one we're going to try out. This is a Cambodian green giant eggplant. And what I want to do is I want to cross this eggplant right here with the Aswad eggplant. This one is the one I grew my state record with was 4.72 pounds, 7.2 pounds. So 4 pounds, 7.2 ounces. This one here is from Iraq. It says you can get 3-pounders. Well, you can get that easy because I grew bigger than that. In fact, I thought it was well on its way to being the world record. And I thought that this was the one that the world record was grown after, only to find out that the world record was grown from a new improved New York monster eggplant is what they're called. The new improved New York monster has grown the world record eggplant at like 8 pounds and something now, but it looks very similar to this Aswad eggplant. But what I want to do is I want to take these two and I want to cross them bad lads and make me a super variety of eggplant. And we're going to do it this year, and you guys are going to get to go along for the ride. And we're going to be able to try to grow some more state records and hopefully a new world record. We'll see. Then we got the Rotunda eggplant. It's a red eggplant. Tastes really good. It's kind of puts you in the mind of the pumpkin eggplant thing that they got. It looks like little pumpkins, but it's eggplant. It kind of reminds you of that, but they're red. They're a little tiny. They're about like that, about the size of a tennis ball. So there's those. Let me see real quick. We'll get out our giant tomatoes, go over those really quick, and then, we can plant some because y'all's probably getting bored, I'm sure. Where is my giant ones at? Here's some giant ones. Oh, boy. I got so much giant seeds. Right here. We'll do it like this. Dump them all out and put them back in. That'd be easier to find them that way. There we go. Giant tomatoes, y'all. Giant tomatoes. Tomorrow I'm going to plant me some watermelons. Get them rocking and rolling for some giant watermelons. See if we can't grow us a new state record. Got to beat 189 pounds. We're growing the 190 pounder to get the new state record. Started all my trellis and squash seeds yesterday. That's cool. Let's see here. well, make sure you tell Baker Creek that you order them because of this. No, I'm just picking. But here we go. So got the 7.85 Howell Jolivet, which was a 9.44 LaRue. Now, guys, anytime that I'm dealing with a giant, if you hear me or you see a name and a number, such as this, okay, the number is the pound of the tomato. The name after it is the grower of the tomato, okay, guys? So anybody that does not know, if you're not familiar with giant growing, that is how this works. So 7.58 pounds. Howell Jolivet is the ones that grew it. They were a team. All right. And it came from the 9.44 LaRue. So it was 9.44 pound tomato LaRue, and it was open. If it says self, it was self-pollinated. If it was open, it was open-pollinated. That was grown in 2021. Then we have the 9.06 brown, which was off of the 5.32 Howell Jolivet open in 2021. Then we have a 5.29 pork chop, which was grown in 2018. Awesome. Thank you. Let's see here. Georgia Candy Roasters are awesome. We grew them for the first time last year. Man, the flavor of them things are unbelievable. If you're not growing those Georgia Candy Roasters, you need to go get you some. If you ain't got no seeds, I've got seeds. If you can't find them on Baker Creek, again, I've got seeds for them. Got tons of seeds for them, guys. That zucchini rampicate or rapicate, I can't pronounce that word. Those are good, and the acorn squash is good. So awesome, Tennessee Bushcrafter. Let me see here. There you go. Yeah, put them in a small greenhouse. Then we got this one here is a 6.82 brown, which is a 7.66 heel to open, and that is a big Zac. Some of these are Domingos, some of them are big Zacs, and some of them are can't think of the name. Some of them are crosses of those. Let's see here. This one here is a Domingo, which is a 6.14 brown with the 6.66 Panzani to open, and that was a Domingo tomato. This one here is the 9.65 pork chop, which was the world record right there. I got a few more of those seeds left. I'll probably grow those. They grew pretty good for me last year. Yeah, absolutely. You can save seeds. Yeah, you can save them. Absolutely. I'm sending seeds for the Georgia Canyon roast too. Yeah, I got tons of them. Let's see here. They grow really good. They taste phenomenal. Like you put them in, you half them, put them in the oven, roast them. Man, they're awesome. We love them. Here's a 6.14 brown, which is again the Spinzani, 6.66 Spinzani. This is a 5.80 LaRue, which is a 9.65 Marley open, which was the world record. The 9.65 was the world record. Now the world record is 16.99 pounds, guys. Can y'all imagine a 16.99, almost 17-pound tomato? That thing is like this, y'all. I kid you not. It looked like a pumpkin, like a little pumpkin. 16.99 pound world record tomato, guys. Now this, and it was I'll think of the name in a minute. Goodness gracious. I had the name on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember now. Anyways, here was the 5.17 damage McDonald, which was off of a 5.68 pork chop, 6.82 brown, 7.35 brown, which was a 3.62 Ogilvy open. This one here is a super sweet cherry, 15-foot tomato plant, okay? And this one right here, is this the one? This might have been the one that got the world record for the most tomatoes, or the U.S. record. I had 1,000 and some tomatoes on one truss. It's like 1,066 tomatoes on one truss. Crazy. No, candy roasters aren't giants, but they get, like, I don't know, 2 foot long, some of them, and they're about like that big around, and they're really, really good. Really, really good. They're kind of reminds you of a sweet potato almost, like flavor. Let's see here. This is 7.15 LaRue, 8.105 McDonald, which I grew last year. It grew really good for me. 5.62 LaRue, the 4.87 Gross, which came off of the 4.38 or 34 minting, and then we got 4.87 Gross crossed with the 4.34 minting. We got the 4.52 Gross, which was the 7.82 Howell Jolivet. We got the 5.04 Gross, which was a 6.23 Kozinski. So there's those. One last little bit here. This right here was the first one I grew. It came off of the 5.46 Worm, which was off of the 9.65 pork chop. This one right here was a 6.21 Gross, which was off of the Kozinski again. 5.82 Gross, which was off of the 6.05 Gross. Here it is. North American record seeds from 1,044 tomatoes on a single truss. Super sweet 100 variety. Right there you go, guys. 1,044 tomatoes on one truss. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah. So what I do is all of mine are if I'm going to do it, I cup them all and I pollinate all of them. I hand pollinate everything. So if we're keeping stuff around here, everything's hand pollinated. That's cool. That's really cool. You need to talk to some of us, man. If you're going to grow like that, you need to be in with some of us giant growers. You'd have a lot of fun. And I'm telling you, man, people wouldn't believe some of this stuff. People wouldn't. I mean, it's a giant growing and growing some of this stuff. You can really push these plants to do some awesome things. Tennessee bushcrafter for real. All of our stuff, man, I'm very, very, very picky about how I do things around here. You know, when I pollinate, I mean, I'm out there I know what's going to, open the next morning. It's cupped off. Nothing can get in of it. Nothing can get out of it. Go out there very early in the morning, and I pull all my male blooms off the night before. I bring them inside, put them in water, and, get ready for the next day and get them done. If it's a tomato, I make sure I know that it's going to be opening. I bag it off so nothing can get into it with those net bags. So, I mean, nothing can get in there. I mean, it barely lets air inside of it, right? But pollen can't get in. Nothing can get in through those little net bags. And, man, I go out there, a toothbrush, and man, I'm very, very anal about all my stuff. I've been selling seeds now for 3 years now, and it's done well for me here. I mean, it's doing really well. But yeah, that's funny that you had to make a video, because they will get very tall. They will get very, very tall. People wouldn't believe that stuff. This one here is a giant. This is a 5 pound, 11 ounce tomato. I think it's the state record. Might be the Indiana state record. I think this one right here is, which is where this one came from. A guy named Alex Babich. He grew the U.S. record sunflower, which I have over there in that bag, at 25 foot something another tall sunflower. Right? Massive. So anyhow, there's those. And then we got the 4.19 gross. We got the 7.46 gross. We've got the 3.62 yo and a 6.05 gross. So there's all those giants. Really don't know which ones I really want to grow just yet, but thought we would go over those in case, because there's some people that are interested in stuff like that and don't know that they can get very big, right? So saving seeds could be hard. So no, not as hard as you would think. There's a so there, like, you want to make sure, you want to take away all chances of a cross pollination, but to cross pollinate a nightshade, which would be a pepper or a tomato, a eggplant, something like that. It is fairly difficult, and here is why. And there's tons of write-ups about it and everything. You can kind of go and Google it all for yourself. Y'all hear all that rain? It's like coming down like hard. Anyways, you can go Google it for yourself, and you can see it's very, very difficult to have a cross-pollination. And the reason being for that is because when the flower opens, okay, so you got the flower. When the flower opens up and the stamen is in the center of it, so you got the stamens here, all right, and you got the flower, and the flower opens up, right, and the stamen. As soon as it opens up, that pollen is there too, right? So as soon as the wind blows, or you brush up against it, or something lands on it, right, it's literally just flushed all that pollen out on top of the stamen, right? And so it's very, very difficult. Now, even if they've been, around something, right? So it still would be difficult to crop. Not that it was impossible, because it's very possible, but it makes it a little bit more difficult, okay? But what you want to do to ensure that, even though you got maybe multiples, you plant them in rows, okay? So you'll plant in rows of 5, okay, or more, all right? And what you do is you'll take the center ones, right? And those center ones are going to be the ones that you're going to want to keep the seeds off of. It's also going to be the ones that you want to use those net bags on, right? Now, I'm talking the net bags are like micron bags, like micron filter bags, right? So they're going to keep out everything but the air, okay? They're not going to allow stuff to get in there, right? And you'll put them over those particular blooms, all right? And then you'll go out there and you'll pollinate them. And you'll leave those nets on for another 24 hours just to be safe. Then you take them off, and then, put a tag on it and do your own thing. I have never, doing it that way, I've never grown something that was not what it said it was going to be, right? Like, never grown it that way. I've never had a cross-pollination, never had anything happen. But, you still yet, though, even with the net, or even without the net, you could probably do pretty well. But you would want to be sure that if you told them, or you sold them, or you traded them or you gave them out or whatever, you want to make sure that you say, hey, these seeds were open pollinated, right? And open pollinated mean anything could have touched them, right? So just be aware of that. But those bags, you can get those bags that have micron filters like that. I mean, they're very, very hard to do anything with. Let me see. Yeah, right, exactly. Bag some for the flower seed saving. Yeah, see? So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right. They can. Absolutely. That's why you got to take that little extra precaution to put the bags over them and stuff, and just try to keep the and you can't just get any old bag either. When you make sure you get the good ones that have a micron of like what is it, like 100 or something like that, or maybe even more than that. I can't remember. I got them in there, but you do want to make sure of that. But yeah, you're right, Tennessee Bushcrafter. Let's see. You cannot hear the rain. Yeah, it was bad. It didn't quit now. Let's see here. Yeah. Kang Star. He's a great guy for breeding peppers. Really like his stuff. Yep. I do that. That's the one that I learned how to cross-pollinate peppers. So if you're going to cross-pollinate peppers or tomatoes, you want to go out there like the day before it's going to open, and they got these clippers that you clip like the corners of your nails, right? And Jaden, get me the tool bag. So anyhow, you get those out and you clip the petals away. Okay.
What?
Give me the tool bag.
Tool bag?
Yes, please. You clip the petals away until the stamen is left. All right. The pistil, whatever you want to call it. And and then you take a flower from the same or from the one you want to crossbreed from. You take that flower and you can either gently rub it on there, which is be very careful, or you can take it and take the flowers that you're wanting to crossbreed with and put them in a clear like Jello shot cup. All right. And then you can see the pollen, and then you take the pollen with a Q-tip and you put it on the stamen and you do it like that. So very, very good stuff. But see, like these right here, this is what you'll want to cut the flowers, the petals away with. Okay. So you just like go in there and very carefully cut. And I mean very carefully, because if you're not careful, you'll break that pistil off. If you break that pistil off, you can't pollinate. All right. So you got to be very careful with that. I've got several different F2s, F3s, F4 pepper breedings that I've done already. And I've got some different tomato breedings that I've done. But I've just they're not proven out yet for what I want. So I haven't really been talking much about them or whatever. But I do have some of those that I've been working on crossbreeding and stuff to get either better disease resistance or to improve upon a flavor or drought resistance, heat resistance, or, something of that, or even just coming up with my own variety like these Alice's Dreams, these Sartre Louise. So it's a lot of fun. I love crossbreed. So let's see here. Got to run. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys. So, you have a good night too, where to begin. And Tennessee Bushcrafter, we'll see you guys later. So, anyhow, we're just going to plant some stuff real quick. I ain't going to plant it all on the live stream. We've already been on for an hour and 33 minutes. That's quite a long time. So I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer, but we'll plant a few things real quick just to kind of show you, what we do here. And we get pretty good success with it. I've never had bad success doing it this way. So let's see here. We'll keep these out, keep those out, put these up right there. All right, we'll do these 3 real quick. And let's see here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's went by really fast. It's been quite fun. I really appreciate it, Homestead Aquarius. You've really helped me out. So these are not the trays that I've been using. I've had these left over since last year. I have been using the Epic Gardening seed cell trays and the universal bottoms, but I don't have any more of those currently. They're all being used up right now with tons of different things. Got peppers behind me in the mini greenhouse. Got 3 levels of those behind me. And we've got tons of stuff out here Okay. I got you, Tennessee bushcrafter. So anyhow, but got tons of stuff out behind me and tons of stuff out in the cellar where I turned that into a mini greenhouse as well. So I don't have any more of those, and I've got these, so I might as well use what I got at my disposal, right? Waste not, want not kind of deal, right? So all we're going to do, oh mercy, is just fill this up real quick with some of this compost, some of this Malibu compost seed starter mix here, and it's really good stuff, guys. I really like it quite a bit. It's done really well for me all season long. I've not had any issues out of it. It's light, it's fluffy, but it's good. Like it holds moisture content well. The roots on these things, I've got some pictures, I think, on my community page where there's lots and lots of roots on some of these plants that I've been getting from this Malibu's compost, guys. And I really, really like it. Been really, really good, and a great company too. Just a really good company to work with. So anyhow, this is their seed starter mix, and like I say, it's been really good. I've tried lots of seed starter mix. I've tried lots of different things. I've used Fox Farm. I've used the Fox Farm Happy Frog. I've used goodness gracious, I can't even think of all the stuff I've used. Let's see, what else was there? There was Happy Frog, Ocean something or other that I've used from Fox Farm. I've used Miracle Grow seed starter mix. I've used the Burpee seed starter mix. I've used what's that other one I can't think of right now? It's like really popular every year at seed starting time. It's really cheap too. But anyhow, I've used all of them, and Booze has been the best. Like the roots come out looking phenomenal. Everything comes out looking really, really good. I ain't had any issues out of it. Really, really like it. So we're gonna keep on using it and doing it with the Malibu stuff. So let me see here. Get it up here. Give me one more scoop. Boy, I made a mess. Mommy's gonna kill me now. I'm gonna have to get over here and sweep that up. She's gonna choke me, y'all. I live a rough life around here. Live a rough life. Let's see here. Chasing some squirrels a day. That sounds like fun. I don't guess I've seen that guy. Bootstrap farmer. I'm going to check him out. Oh, yeah. Just put a little bit of dirt everywhere. She's going to choke me, y'all. I'm telling you. Oh, well. Try to get these packed down good, because every time you go to plant stuff in them, they always end up sinking like a half inch, and I don't like that. I like to make sure they're packed good. They got some, they ain't going to sink that much down there. I don't want them sinking too much. Yeah, weather was bad here all day too. All it did was rain. Of course, we needed the rain. It rained all winter long until it was time to plant stuff and grow stuff outside. As soon as I started direct sowing my cool weather crops, rain stopped. No more rain. Been dry as a bone. Can't get no rain. Then on the days that you want to work and you can work, it rains all day. Crazy stuff. Tired of the weather. All right, there's that. All right. So there's this. And then all I do is, and I don't really soak this dirt beforehand, because I've noticed things can get dampened off really easy. I keep high humidity is what I do, and then I just let that high humidity help out a lot. It kind of helps me from dampening off and worrying about, issues like that. So, I don't water it yet. I'll lift this tray up and I'll put about a 1/2 inch of water in this tray right here. All right. And then after I put that 1/2 inch of water in that tray and let it soak up from the bottom, I'll then come in and I'll hit the top of this real lightly. And then every, few hours, like in the morning, I'll come in here and I'll hit it with the water bottle. And then, like I said, keep it in that right there with a high humidity. And that, generally helps, keep it moist. And then I don't have to add a bunch of water and worry about anything dampening off, because you want it moist, but you don't want it so moist that you got to worry about it, rotting in your seeds or something crazy like that. And I keep my temperature high. About 89 to 90 degrees is where I keep the temp for just about everything that I end up, growing and starting my seeds with, unless it don't want to start at something that high. But generally speaking, peppers, tomatoes, even my giant pumpkins, I will start it at a higher temperature, 85, 90 degrees. And I do really well like that. So let's see here. We got some questions here. Burpee seeds already missed. Whole lot of flying critter. Oh yeah, you don't want that. Ooh. Yeah. So the ones I'm talking about, I shot them with a shotgun. The trays from Epic Gardening, I shot them with a shotgun and it didn't phase them, man. So I like trays like that. They'll last forever like that. Let's see here. Extra protein seed starter mix. Yeah. That's funny. Oh man, that'd be bad. Yeah, that will help too. Problem here, it's hard to get vermiculite and it's hard to get perlite. So that's the biggest dag blame downfall to living here. You can't hardly find nothing that you need. So can't hardly find nothing you need or you want. Let me see here. Yes. And these here are going to be the Thornburst terracotta. We'll just plant this row and then I'll let you guys go. But we're just going to take our popsicle stick. We're going to put a very little dimple right there in the center of it and put a seed down in it, maybe 2 seeds in it. All right. And then what I'll do is I always plant more than what I need. And then when I go to transplant out of this, if there's 2 in there, I'll separate them 2. And then I'll put them in their own sometimes I use the bags. I step them up into grow bags, like small 2x3s or 3x4s grow bags. And then I'll just set them in these trays and mark them all with popsicle sticks. And then I end up selling a bunch of them off, tomatoes and the peppers. Generally sell every one of them off, and then I just keep what I need. Usually have probably, I don't know, 100 or more tomato plants. I can't remember how many tomato plants we have. We got so many, I can't remember. Let's see. It's at least 3 to 4 of each plant that's here. So however many that'll be. I don't know how many's here. Anybody keeping count of how many was there? Because I sure didn't. So let's see. We'll plant 2 rows of these terracottas. There's those. Like I said, I'll separate if 2 of them come up, I'll separate them when I go to step them up in the grow bags. Sometimes I put them in 4-inch pots, not very often though. And if I do that, I'll sell them. Generally sell all of them real quick. Put a $2 or $3 price tag on them and get rid of all of them. And there's a greenhouse 2 houses up from me. There's 3 guys got 3 greenhouses called Serenity Greenhouses, and I just take them up there. I'll sell them in there, and he lets me sell them, and he doesn't charge me anything to sell them in there. So everybody that comes in looking for flowers and stuff, he just wants a variety there. So he lets me sell, and he doesn't charge me anything. So he's a really cool dude. But these are the Thornburns terracottas. We'll put one there and get another one. All right, quick. Make sure we mark them both. Just like so. And like I said, we'll water the bottom of this tray. We'll spray the top of it. We'll give about a 1/2 inch water in the bottom tray. Spray the top of it real good. And then spray it again in the morning time. We have a lid. It keeps humidity in. We got that. It keeps humidity in. We set our heat mats at about 85 to 90 degrees. So everything does really, really good. Do you reuse the grow bags? No. So the grow bags that I use are, like I said, they're either 2 inches wide, 3 inches long, or 3 inch wide by 4 inches long. And you'll take this tray, you'll take these trays out, and then you'll just leave this bottom tray here. I'll fill the bottom tray up with all the different ones, all the different plants in there, and that way I can water them, but the roots grow through them, and then they are biodegradable. So you can plant them straight out into your garden, and they'll break down over the course of a season, and your roots are going. And I've noticed that as I've done that, I've had less transplant shock when I've done that, especially if I choose a cool day to do it, or like a cool day and a cool following day to do it. I have less transplant shock than I do pulling them out of a pot, putting them in the ground, and then going through that. So the grow bags I like a lot better for my transplanting of peppers and tomatoes. I use them for peppers and tomatoes only. I've not really used grow bags for anything else. Well, I've used them for huckleberries and stuff like that, but they work good for that. But I haven't used them for anything else. So I really can't speak to squash and stuff like that. How many tomatoes? Or how many people here? I don't know. There's 6 people here. How many tomatoes? I have to count them real quick. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 56, because 57, I counted that ISIS twice. So 56 tomatoes, the varieties of tomatoes, plus my giant ones. And those were Big Zacks, the Big Marley, and the Domingos. So there's 57, 58, 59 tomatoes, 59 varieties of tomatoes. That's a lot. It's a lot of tomatoes. And that's not all of them. There's some more in the box in there. So I forgot about them. But anyhow, that's a lot. So I'd say I think there's another 4 or 5 in there that I forgot about. So maybe 60 something. Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah. This is I love tomatoes and I love peppers. Like back here behind me, there's I got a whole bag of peppers, guys. Just like I got a whole bag of this, I got a whole bag of peppers back there. I think I actually made the video on the peppers, how many peppers I started not long ago. Might have to go back maybe a week or two. I think there is a thing. Yeah, I think there is. There's a video of me starting all my peppers. I don't remember how many there was in there. There's probably 50 some or so varieties in there too, and I'm still building upon that. I love growing different peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers, super hot peppers, wild looking peppers, all kinds of different stuff. I love stuff like that. So guys, I ain't gonna keep you guys much longer because it's 9:54. But I really, really thank each and every one of you guys for coming in here, spending an hour and 50 minutes with me. That means a lot. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully, we have got you guys on the track to looking for some more tomatoes, interested in some different tomatoes, broaden your your view of tomatoes, and have encouraged you guys to grow more, right? Because it's a lot of fun, and there are a ton of just so many different varieties out there that are just unknown. I was so stuck in 2020 with whatever was at the stores, whatever was at the nurseries or whatever, right? You always see the same type. And it was refreshing to get out there online at Baker Creek and some of these other places as well and see the different varieties that are out there and available to us through seeds, right? And so I loved every bit of this. I love doing it every year. It's a big enjoyment. We do taste tests every year for them. Last year, I did one taste test. I did a part one. It was like an hour and something long. You can go check that out if you would like to. It was last summer. But we did a part two to it, and I lost all the footage, sadly, and we didn't get to post it. But we did taste tests with all of the tomatoes last year. We will do that again this year, and hopefully it's an eye opener to you guys, and you guys will be able to see, And we do shorts on them. Say they start hitting one at a time, slowly. We'll do a little short here and there, kind of give you a little glimpse of what we think of it at first, and then we do a big in-depth view of the tomatoes. Also do it for the peppers as well. Of course, my kids can't eat the super hot ones. I pay for it when I eat the super hot ones, so I might nibble on it a little bit, but I don't eat the whole thing. But I do use them. We use them for everything from tinctures to creams and in jerkies and chilies and all kinds of stuff. So they do get used. They just don't get ate raw. We always have to put them in something. And I think it's pretty wise to do, especially if they're like, peach reapers or peach ghosts or something like that, that's way up there in the million. It's probably not the best thing to eat, but it is good for you. The peppers are very, very good for your health. So anyhow, guys, hopefully you guys have had some fun in here, and I love all the new people that's came in here. So thank you guys so much. Jesus as God says, she loved to see the babies. You just planted later. Absolutely. I can't wait. Enjoy seeing what everybody else is growing and planting and their results. I love it too. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, Buckeye Gardner. Jesus is God. You too. All right. So guys, some of the super hots are about to kill. Yeah, absolutely. Oh goodness. Oh, wait, for a minute. Hot sauce. I got some up there that I made, and I thought we were going to go through it really quick. Come to find out, you don't need but like 2 drops. And so it lasted a little bit longer than what I thought it was going to. But definitely it's good. It's good, and it's good for you, but in moderation, as all things. So, guys, again, thank you all for coming in and spending the evening with me. I really appreciate it. Check us out Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a live stream. You guys ain't going to want to miss it. We got some really good ones coming up. This Tuesday on May 2nd, we have Bland's Promised Land Ranch. We got Eric's going to kill me because I called him Erica. Don't tell him. We got Eric and Monica coming on. I'm going to have to email him real quick. But anyways, we got him and Monica coming on this Tuesday. Then after that, on the 9th, we have Lazy Dog Farm. We got Travis from Lazy Dog Farm coming on. Then on the, that's the 9th. And then, let's see here. The 9th and the 16th, we got Hematite Homestead coming on, talking to us about Cooney pigs. He's a really good guy and a giant grower as well. And then on the 23rd, we got Cattywampus Acres coming on, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that one. We love Jason at Cattywampus Acres. Then on the 30th of May, we got Trophy Smack coming on, going to talk to us about trophies and our championship belt. Guys, don't forget, if you want to get in the challenge, we got a challenge put out. It's called the Size Does Matter YouTube Challenge for Giant Pumpkins. You got to get entered by April 30th. So don't forget that. April 30th is the deadline. Costs $20 to get in. We're going to be giving away the cash that is the entry fee. That cash will be going toward the winner. And then we have a trophy. We have a belt that we're going to be like a championship belt. And then we have fertilizer and seeds that you guys are going to be able to win. So if you want to get in that, go on ahead and get in there. We also have the long gourd challenge, $5 to get in on that. It's called Triple Crown Long Gourd Challenge. And if you're interested in that, you can email me at babydrill2119@yahoo.com if you're interested in any of that. But guys, again, we appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us. And we'll catch you next time right here in the hollers and hills of West Virginia. Peace, guys. Yes, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Videos are posted down below. Email me and we can get you hooked up. See y'all.